What up? Back in the command center. I had so many ideas bounding around in this big, otherwise empty head. So let's talk about something that's been on my nerves for the last little while. I don't like how much of my brain space Marvel Rivals takes up. The new but not brand new splash hit hero shooter, dare I say arena hero battler, Marvel Rivals. 6-on-6 chaos, featuring a cavalcade of your favorite Marvel superheroes and villains, although we don't have much in the way of villains. We just have a few tweeners. We need some, like, villains, like, real shit. I just want to talk a little bit about it. If you haven't seen any of my secret streams, most of my secret streams nowadays, I am playing Rivals, just casually, as an excuse to just chill out, talk on stream. It's been fun. It's been very challenging when you get a whole bunch of unexpected support and you were so busy just playing the game or you weren't expecting anybody to even come through in chat. So when someone wants to support monetarily, not just chat, but take it to the next level, support monetarily, it can get a little overwhelming a little fast. But that's okay, that's why we do these things. I want to talk about how much fun I've been having and how stressful it is. I say I'm constantly stressing myself out. I'm a very stressful person. The world is stressful. It's stressful living in the world. It's stressful dealing with other people's BS. It's stressful dealing with other people's suggestions that you should just not let the other things that are stressing you out stress you out. It's stressful trying to maintain spaces and activities that are supposed to bring you comfort when bullshit from outside of those spaces comes into those spaces. Rivals is fun. This is something that's gonna be like a thought break sentence. Rivals is fun. I main Moon Knight and Jeff and Divers. That's it. That's all I want to play. During the beta, I don't know if I have any beta footage, or rather, I don't know if my beta footage survived because it was wiped. It was on the last hard drive. You know, I was throwing down some numbers with Penny. I do like to hop on Thing and throw some haymakers, some charged haymakers, although I haven't got it down. Technically, I would say, in terms of being a Vanguard and tank, he is the diver that is also the tank. Most divers are squishy. Supports are supposed to be basically glued to their ass. And you can go really crazy. With the exception of Magic, who's jumping through portals, you need your healer to be on your ass. That's one of the reasons why Iron Fist has a self-heal, kind of to address that problem, but also to keep him going. But it's a good thing he also has his parry. He needs to close the gap. He has the triple jump, he has the wall run. He can stay in the air longer if he hits a wall run off of a double jump or a triple jump, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, it feels like he addressed certain problems, and then no one else did, but that's really just me misunderstanding everybody's kit. Rivals is fun. I like playing Moon Knight because out of all the DPS, he's one of the few DPS with a really good kit and bread and butter, and you play him like a sniper. Ideally, you play him like a sniper. You get on high ground, or you get somewhere safe. You maybe throw down the Ankh, and you just keep throwing those crescents. And if you want to quickly kill somebody, you throw down Ankh, 1 or 2 crescents. Mind you, each projectile, each cast or shot of the crescent blades, the bladed boomerangs, do 3. You do 2 of those, and then if you got a moon blade, and the moon blade is just a large crescent dart that does a whole lot of damage, you chuck that as well, pop pop, and taking 6 projectiles and then being pulled. Ankh does damage. I didn't know Ankh, like, that's something that's relatively new. I remember when Ankh didn't do damage. Putting the Ankh down does a little bit of damage. What does it do, like 15? And then getting hit. And I love just the mechanics of the Ankh AoE attack. When it pulls you near the center, and then if you attack anywhere within the radius of the Ankh, it does a bit of extra damage, blah blah blah, yak yak yak. It's really good. I like Wolverine's whole thing being, hey, I'm going to jump at somebody, usually a tank, and I'm going to just scream at them, and I'm going to keep cutting at them, and it's going to shred their health. Tanks usually have tons of health, not always, usually. And the whole point of my existence is to like delete health bars off of tanks, and anyone who's not a tank dies instantly unless they're being backed up, unless they're being actively healed, they have active shields, or their movement is really, really good. You're supposed to point me at a target and then I eliminate it. I like that Blade is kind of doing things that are similar, but not really. I like Rogue's AoE effect, although I haven't really mastered it because I haven't had a chance to play her. Because I just got used to playing Blade. So I'm gonna need a little bit just to really get used to Rogue. I've had more playtime. I've had almost more playtime on Deadpool than Rogue. So I want to get better at Gambit and Rogue. I'm really liking the game. Rivals is fun. I would even dare say it's almost too fun. It's almost worth putting up with all of the pitfalls of modern games as a service design, hero shooter design, and the players who are just perpetually off their game. I can say this with some confidence because I'm playing 30 minutes to 2 hours a day. Almost rain or shine. I was mad because that streak was broken for just about 4 days recently. I forget how recently. But recently, 3 to 4 days, I've gone without... very recently, within the past 3 weeks, it happened, and it just messed me up. Because I'm like, it's really challenged Tekken and even Warframe for that spot of, I can boot this up, and I can real quick play 15 minutes of it between being yanked in every which direction by domestic responsibilities and projects, and even a scrub stream, or working on a video. Very interesting. And being able to just, it's like, that's something that I'm not typically able to do with Tekken. And it's something that I can do but don't want to do with Warframe. Is just being able to leave it on while I go do something else, or sometimes do several other things. So that's been really cool. I really enjoy playing Rivals, and it's almost affecting my ability, my workflow on these videos. So I will have to stop, put a kibosh on it. It's the beginning of the year. So there's a lot more time I spend at home. In fact, I used to, or rather I wanted to take most of the month off just to relax. In the same way, take 2 or 3 weeks off from content creation. I wanted to take a month off from my day job And all my day job does is, you know, cover my personal expenses, fund RKP. Very little of it gets recycled back into my household funds, but that's because we do our best to live within our means, and typically we can do that. My main job, and that's why I separate them, is because, hey, my main job is actually taking care of my household domestically, and then the day job is just mostly funding things. It's mostly funding passion projects, and it's like, hey, budget a little bit of money off the side to help with house expenses, but mostly fund RKP and pay personal expenses, which I also keep down very low. Blessed to be able to say that, hey, I'm still perpetually broke. I'm still struggling. I'm still going to be struggling with taxes, but it's good that you know, pay is kind of good and expenses are down and will be down. That's kind of good. But I've been noticing that playing this game, it's just like, oh my god. It's bad when I'm having a stressful day. I hop on, and it's glue huffers. And what I mean by glue huffers, I mean people who aren't playing the game, people who aren't paying attention to their role. I don't like when I'm standing in front of it, or when a support is rightfully behind me, or I'm in a more front-facing role. That could be as a tank when I decide to pop tank, or as a diver, and I know that these divers almost always melee and typically have advanced movement techniques. Is going to be hard for healers to stay on top of me. I appreciate healers who are being diligent with that regard, but it happens almost once a day. There's at least one match where healers, supports who are almost always healers, are spending more time using their healing abilities as a sort of like they're using it to basically workshop themselves as a DPS damage duelist or an attacker, instead of just healing when they just should be healing. It's very annoying. It's very annoying. They have the devs over at NetEase have tried to basically kneecap damage on healing heroes to stop that, and it's still happening. Food for thought. I'm cutting down my snivels and snorts because I don't want to be doing that. But this is that time of year, and I'm also dealing with low pressure. There's a low pressure front that piggybacked off of the storm, and I have really bad headaches and even the occasional migraine just off of my sinuses being wrecked by the barometric pressure. But then again, I get like 3 to 4 flavors of headache. I get, you know, I'm getting headache from, I'm getting everything but like cancer and CTE headache. I'm getting every other kind of headache. I'm getting, hey, you might be dehydrated. Hey, you might be dehydrated, headache. Hey, did you eat? Headache. Hey, you're not well rested. Headache. Hey, you have a headache because you're congested off of your allergies. Headache. Hey, you can get a congestion headache because barometric air pressure is low. Barometric pressure is low, and it'll have nothing to do with your allergies. Boom. So that is what it is. So what I want to pose, a question I want to ask to the viewer is, do you have a game? And if you don't, when was the last time you was ever in this situation, or a situation adjacent to this, where you had a game that was very, very fun to play, and you didn't realize it had become such a time sink on your everyday life to the point where you have to step back or start monitoring? That is my question to you. That's the question I want to pose to you, because I do believe Rivals has occupied that spot and has dethroned fighting games and Warframe in general, but especially Tekken and Warframe from that spot of, oh, pop this on, then you can play it whenever you have a little bit of free time. You can just, you've got if you can spare 5 to 15 minutes, you can pop this on whenever you have not taken the time it takes to set up, just 5 to 15. That's what I want to hear below in the comments. This is your reminder to keep it locked right here on RyderKickProductions and watch for the signal. I like doing these stream of thought conversation videos. I'm not gonna lie, the engagement is wishy-washy, but what I'm trying to do here is build engagement off of everything but Let's Plays, because even Let's Plays have been hurting. They've been hurting. They don't start getting traction until a week and a half to 2 weeks after they're posted. Another reason why we're trying to let Let's Plays breathe. That's why we are staggering them by a week to 2 weeks, which is why you haven't seen Dispatch. Dispatch will probably be on the channel next week. And it's why by March or April, we want to move Let's Plays off of the channel other than quick looks and one-shots and special events. I'm trying to really work on spending the next year or two, the next 2-ish years, really building the audience. We need to grow the audience if we're going to have a chance at brand growth. There is no use working on all the projects I'm working on if no one's watching. This is the problem. People say, hey, just create. Those who are interested will come. Well, guess what I've been doing? Creating almost non-stop. Has it yielded anything? Yes. Could we have done better? Could it have been better? Yes. So I want to keep creating and holding my craft, and I want you guys to be there every step of the way. I really would appreciate it. And yeah, that's just about it. I'll see ya when I see ya. Kamen out.